The Village of Lincoln Heights regular council meeting is now in session. Today's date is Monday, September 11th, 2023. The time is 7:32. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
Present.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter.
Present.
Councilman Durance Daniels.
Present.
Councilwoman Tanya Key.
Present.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Present.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
Present.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumphrey.
Present.
Mayor, we do have 7 who are present. We do have a quorum.
We'd like to take a few minutes, a brief moment of silence in recognition of the 9/11 families, EMS, and police, and our first responders, and the loss of their loved ones and the one that passed. So if there's just a moment of silence for 9/11. And I'll go ahead and begin with the prayer. Dear gracious and eternal Father, we want to thank you for bringing us all together. Lord, we thank you for the knowledge and the wisdom that we're trying to put forth to move our village forward. Lord, we ask you to bless our residents. Lord, we ask and pray for the friends of the families of bereavement that we've lost throughout this year and before. Lord, we ask you to bless the Village of Lincoln Heights as we continue to move our village forward with positive results. And all these blessings I ask, amen.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. All right. So we're going to go straight into the acceptance of the agenda. Is there a motion? We have actually the regular acceptance of the regular agenda.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Okay. All right. There's no consent agenda. Motion to accept the supplemental agenda.
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Motion order for filing of the journal for the Committee of the Whole meeting minutes from July 24th, 2023, along with the regular council meeting minutes from July 24th, both with any necessary corrections.
Moved. Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Announcements. Councilman Daniels?
No announcements at this time.
Okay. Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter?
The only announcement that I have is that I'm glad to see all of you back around this table. We've been away from it for a minute, but we are back together as family.
Okay. All right. Councilwoman Baber?
No announcement, Mayor.
Okay. Councilwoman Key?
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to announce that the rescheduling of the Economic Development meeting that for the month of September has been rescheduled to September 26th at 5:30 p.m.
Okay, thank you. All right, Vice Mayor Stinson,
I have no announcements.
Councilwoman Mitchell.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to thank everybody who came out to our Shakespeare in the Park event that we had last month. It was very good, and we look forward to doing it again next year.
All right, thank you. Any announcements from you, Mr. Holbert?
Nothing, Mayor.
Okay. All right, I just wanted to thank the residents for coming out for Lincoln Heights Day and thank Ms. Baber for her efforts, along with council, that were able to help. So glad it's over with, but it's been a busy summer. We want to thank all our parade participants and the residents for coming out for Lincoln Heights Parade and Lincoln Heights Day. Okay. All right. So next, that leaves the proclamation. So we have before us Ms. Angel Curry. And she's coming, and I'll be reading a proclamation regarding the September month for suicide awareness. So if you want, I want them to introduce you first, and then we'll do the proclamation.
Okay. Hi, everyone. It's nice to be here today. My name is Angel Curry. I am the Community Outreach Manager at NAMI Southwest Ohio, which is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. Very happy to be here. Today we're celebrating or honoring those who have died by suicide for the month of September, which is Suicide Prevention and Awareness Month. And so we're here to have that proclamation from you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Whereas the mental health is part of our overall health, and one in 5 adults experience a mental health problem in any given year, whereas approximately 1/2 of chronic mental illness begins by the age of 14 and 3/4 by age 24, and long delays, sometimes decades, often occur between the time symptoms first appear and when individuals get help. Whereas suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the United States and the 2nd leading cause among young adults, and 90% of people who die by suicide had shown symptoms of a mental health condition, according to interviews with family, friends, and medical professionals. Whereas early identifications and treatment can make a difference in successful management of mental illness and recovery, it is important to maintain mental health and learn the symptoms of mental illness in order to get help when it is needed. And whereas every citizen and community can make a difference in helping end the silence and stigma that for too long has surrounded mental illness and discouraged people from getting help, and public education and civic activities can encourage mental health and help improve the lives of individuals and families affected by mental illness. Now, therefore, I, Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey, Mayor of the Village of Lincoln Heights, do hereby proclaim the month of September 2023 as Suicide Prevention Month in the Village of Lincoln Heights, Ohio, to shine a light on suicide prevention and mental illness and fight stigma, provide support, educate the public, and advocate for equal care, and place our full support behind those who work in the fields of mental health, education, and law enforcement, and national organizations like National Alliance on Mental Illness, and our local mental health partners, NAMI, Southwest Ohio, who serve on the front lines. Signed this 11th day of September by the Honorable Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey, Mayor for the Village of Lincoln Heights. You're welcome. Thank you. Do y'all have any questions for her at all before she leaves?
No, I just want to thank you for your work. It's so needed, and we appreciate you for working hard towards breaking down those stigmas. Thank you.
I don't have a question, but I do have a comment that the Healthcare Connection, they are going to be doing something for suicide prevention month, as well as St. Monica's. I don't know if it came from NAMI, but we did receive something, and I sent it out to the health center and to St. Monica's Recreation Center. So
Thank you.
Lincoln Heights is on it.
Awesome.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have the date for the next walk?
I do not have the date yet. We just started putting that together. So I will be in touch, though. Trust me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody
Thank you
else?
all.
Thank
I have
you.
another question.
Yes,
Go
ma'am.
ahead,
Go
Ms.
ahead.
Giles Jeter.
No, I just said thank you for your service.
What else can we do? How else can people help? Is there anything that people can do? Can you give us like 3 top signs? And the reason why I'm asking is because I seen somebody, I didn't see him, but I seen the effects of somebody jumping off of a building yesterday. And before school started, we had a student that committed suicide. And what are 3 top signs? If you could share at least, so people are looking for different signs and they can be more aware.
I think it's knowing the signs to look for. So changes in personality. Another clear sign is if you're noticing if you're noticing that, possessions, they're not really starting to show a concern for those. The other biggest thing is just having that conversation. A lot of times, because there is a stigma surrounding mental health, we don't want to talk about it, or we don't know how, because it's uncomfortable. But the truth of the matter is you have to talk about it, because when you don't, unfortunately, we've seen the repercussions of that. So just off the top of my head, I would say looking for those signs, especially if you know the individual, if you are able to pick up on those changes, and then having that conversation, no matter how hard that can be.
All right, thank you. Yes, ma'am?
One more. Can you remind us again, if you have it, the suicide hotline number?
So the newest number is 988. It's completely free. It is completely anonymous. I know especially with our younger generation, they might not be so prone to talking on the phone. So you can also text that line as well. It's completely operated by trained professionals. They're able to sit and talk to you and offer you any type of resources. And again, that number is 988. It is not affiliated with the police. So it's no guarantee that a police will come out to you, just depending on that phone call interaction. But you can call that for anything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, that leaves our next speaker, Ms. Colleen McSwiggan, Executive Director of Offsite Collections Coordinator with the Cincinnati Recycling and Reuse Hub.
Hi, everybody. So as Mayor Mumphrey mentioned, I am the Executive Director. My name's Colleen McSwiggan. I'm with the Cincinnati Recycling and Reuse Hub, and we've been around for about 2.5 years. We're a nonprofit, and we literally exist just to try to keep more things out of the landfill and try to make kind of the environment in general healthier for everybody. One of the ways that we do that is we want to have off-site events so that people can bring their electronics, their light bulbs, their batteries to us, because we know that sometimes fees and transportation are barriers, so we come to you for this. So we've set something up with Lincoln Heights Missionary Baptist Church on October 14th from 10 to 1, and we will have our truck there, we will have our personnel there, I think we will have volunteers from Lincoln Heights Outreach to help. Maybe if anybody else knows of any other volunteers that want to come, kind of many hands make light work, to just get things out of people's cars and then get them loaded into our truck. As I said, this is like completely free. All Lincoln Heights residents will be getting a postcard that will kind of look like this in their mail. This is sort of their golden ticket to get into the event for free. We will actually have some extra copies that we'll leave here, and we'll have some with Lincoln Heights Missionary Baptist Church as well for anybody that is a member there who may not actually be officially in the Lincoln Heights incorporated boundary. But we will take anything. So printers, computers, laptops, cell phones, microwaves, irons, curling irons, you name it. If it's got a cord and if it's got a battery, we can take it.
Cool.
So any questions at all?
Yes, ma'am.
Uh-huh.
So, Ms. McSwiggan, everything has to be brought to you. There's no opportunity for individuals who have something, water heaters and wash machines and
We're
all
trying to
that
kind of
sitting
figure
in
out
their
something
driveway.
for that part, to be honest. But we haven't worked anything out yet. Yeah, so kind of
Okay.
stay tuned for that. And the mayor and Mr. Holbert will have hopefully more good news sometime soon, because we're still kind of working that part out.
All right, thank you. Can you move the date up?
What was that?
Can you move the date up?
Unfortunately, no.
Too much.
But I'm hoping that we will be able to make this like yearly or at least every other year, too.
Can you leave that paper with me that you have in your hand?
Yeah, and actually, the mayor has a copy of the actual flyer, and that's got the list of the things that, just kind of some of the things we'll take on the bottom. It's
Okay.
not an exhaustive
Yeah.
list. Yeah.
Thank you.
I basically was going to ask about the flyer and.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll print out a couple of like 50 copies, and we'll bring them to you guys, and then if you need extras, we'll send you the PDF if you need to print anything else or send them to anybody else that way.
Thank you.
Yep,
That's awesome. Thank you.
yep, just happy to help. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
She's gonna send it to you.
I'm sorry, one more question.
No, there you go.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
do we need to have that flyer when we drop off?
not the flyer, but everybody will get a postcard in their mail. We should be sending that out probably the last week of September, and then just bring that when you come to drop stuff off.
So use that postcard. Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Yep.
What is the date on that again, so I can go ahead
October
and
14th.
October 14th.
October 14th.
So it's the second Saturday,
10 a.m. to 1.
10 to 1.
The purpose of the card is Lincoln Heights residents only.
Yeah, but we,
Yeah,
we
we
make
got
a
it,
couple
yeah.
exceptions for if you're a Missionary Baptist Church member as
Yeah.
well, because it's like they're letting us
Yeah.
use the parking lot. So yeah. Yep.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Colleen. All right. So I do know that we'll be looking, working with Mr. Holbert about having a cleanup day. I don't know if anyone mentioned it or anything, but we are looking to try to do some type of cleanup day before it gets cold.
Into what?
Probably before it gets cold. Probably maybe I would say before Thanksgiving, like that. So that's before it gets cold. Okay. All right. So there are no hearing from the residents. So we'll go right into the regular agenda. Communication to council from the clerk of council, Lisa Randolph.
Mayor, I have nothing at this time.
Okay. All right. The only communications I have is for the mayor's court monthly report for August. And in your packet, you'll have the figures total to the state, $112.50. Total area fines to external agencies, 0. Total to other entities, including restitution, $4.50. Total bonds forfeited to the village, 0. Total to the village, including miscellaneous and adjustments and BA fees, is $822. Total to be dispersed, $939. Also is the bank reconciliation on the back cover. Is there any questions? Okay. If there's no questions, motion to accept the report.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. And all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I would like to add that Mayor's Court, since the Hamilton County Sheriffs have been citing majority of our tickets, mostly all of them, we are continuing to work on the dockets that we've had the last couple of years, and that Ms. Bowers is doing a wonderful job of getting that done. We have decided to move Mayor's Court the remainder of this year once a month, which usually is the second Wednesday of each month. So as it stands, we'll continue to have Mayor's Court once a month, and hopefully as we prepare to do our planning of next year, we will look at how we're going to reframe Mayor's Court going forward. Hopefully code enforcement will be a part of that, hopefully the end of this year going into next year as well. That leaves communications from the village manager, Harry Holbert.
So Mayor and Council, I've given you a lot of material. The only thing I'm going to be going over tonight is the email policy and training. If you look at your handouts, it's labeled Village of Lincoln Heights Computer Usage Policy Revised 9/11/2023. It should be 2 sheets. Basically, in my 30, 60, 90-day plan, one of those was to evaluate our server, our email policies, and basically I was able to get with all of our vendors that provide some type of service to us. So not only was it part of the Wi-Fi that's going in through that vendor, but also our IT personnel, our website person that does that. And basically we evaluated what we have in place and how to make improvements. And this policy is basically that document. So I'm just going to read you the main headings. I'm here to answer any questions that you may have about it, but the first one is obviously the purpose of the policy, why it's in place. The biggest part of that is to promote responsible use and ethical computer use within this organization. Obviously, any company, government included, needs to be very particular on the use of their computers. With spyware and malware everywhere, and you hear about it in governments, more so than any place anymore, it's critical that we have policies in place. So the first one is policy. The second one is the scope, how it applies to our employees, contractors, consultants, and any other person who may be provided with village-owned or village-issued computers. Acceptable use. It talks about personal use, authorized access, software installation, internet usage, email and communications, data protection, and that rounds out item number 3. Item number 4, prohibited activities. I think a lot of these are pretty common sense, but the thing that all the consultants told me is most of your spyware comes in and you'd never know it. You just click on it because it looks like somebody you've associated with before. But there are some key things, and I'm going to have them come in and just do a training for us, for the employees. Council's obviously going to be invited too, but we'll have multiple meetings, just kind of go over some of the basic things to look for. So prohibited activities. Basically, it's broken down, just some basic items, like I said. Most of them are pretty common, and you'd expect that. Monitoring and enforcement. There is guidelines which have to be followed, and if they're not, there are enforcement not only in this policy but also in our employee handbook and so on. Policy review. Obviously, any policy as technology changes, which obviously the computer industry is changing every 3 to 6 months, it seems, with new malware, spyware, tools that you can have in your tool belt to prevent this. And as those things change, our IT group is wonderful. And you guys already had them in place. They've been here for, I'm told, 11, 12 years, and they do a great job. And all the vendors that I brought in that have anything to do with our server, they agreed. Now, does that mean we're not going to get attacked? By no means does it. Does that mean we're not going to go down? By no means it doesn't. But we do have things in place that will allow us to bring our system back up and to continue doing our business, which is taking care of our residents and our community. So with that, the last part of that, again, this will be given to all employees. It'll be dated. It'll be a document that's kept on file. I'll take any questions that you may have, but this is what we're going to be putting in place.
Any questions? I have a
Yes,
question.
ma'am.
It's not, we don't have to do the same thing?
We being,
Council.
you will. If you use any type of computers here, you will be part of that.
But we have laptops at home that belong to the village.
If they belong to the village, then you'll have to comply with the policy.
Do we sign off on it and when?
You will.
So,
Everybody's treated the same. If you got anything that has to do with computers or its use through the village of Lincoln Heights, that is our equipment, and you are granted the use of that piece of equipment. So you will fall under those guidelines.
I just want to know when it's going to happen. When do we have to sign off on it? No
So-
one is above the law.
We will start probably within the next week or so.
Okay.
I'm getting all the information still from PowerNet on some things that they may want to incorporate internally. But this is something we're going to put in place probably within the next 2 weeks. I'll have it in everybody's mailbox for you to read through, for you to sign. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate, but this is for the protection of the village. All of us are a part of that. All of us, as you mentioned earlier, are a family in here. And our biggest job, besides the community, is our server. Because when that computer server goes down, I don't think there's a one of us that can do our jobs, or a part of our jobs, let's say, right? So that's why it's so critical that we have this in place. And again, like I mentioned earlier, this does fall within my 30, 60, 90-day plan, and I'm trying to be on top of that plan as best I can. Any questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Hobart. Thank you for putting together policies, written policies. A lot of times we have kind of like, this is how we do it, but to have it in writing is really good. And I was wondering if you're going to have a space where you're going to have all of your policies or all of the policies for the village available digitally, so that next year if we go back and look, don't we have a computer use policy? We should be able to go back and search and look for a computer use policy without having to go to the village administration and saying, do we have a policy? Do we not? Kind of like we do with our codes and our ordinances and things like that. Just wondering if you're going to have something like that in place that digitally we'll be able to see the newest policies.
To be honest, I didn't think that far. But it will definitely be a part of, maybe our handbook. We put it in our handbook because we've got documents in there that we expect people to read and to sign off on when they fill out an application. So I wouldn't see why this wouldn't go in there too, and that would be part of our record. I can tell you on the administration drive itself, I have a separate folder for policies, and those are what I put in place since I've been here. So we'll put this as many places as council would. I want it to be easy to access for everybody. I don't want any question about this policy because it frankly, it will be enforced. It's critical that it is enforced.
Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
to Mr. Hubbard, we are living in a digital society, so therefore it needs to be easy for us to get it.
Okay, I hear you. I'll do it.
I got a question regarding PowerNet. So since we use PowerNet and they're going to be adding some additional things, will that change our contract with them as far as pricing?
So right now, we, the village, are literally pricing everything out again. Everything from the clothes that Public Works wears through Cintas, our water, every contract that we have out there, we are literally evaluating right now. So that's about all I can say right now. We are literally evaluating every contract we have. Obviously, the sheriff and police, the sheriff's office in Woodlawn, we're evaluating that. I've got meetings set up within the next 2 weeks to address that. Our health insurance, again, I don't want to go too far off my topic, but yeah, we are evaluating everything.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone over here?
Just a small comment, and you may not be able to answer this as well, Mr. Holbert, but as we talk about the PowerNet and the expansion of our community Wi-Fi, that also opens us up to successful spyware, different type of things of that way, especially talk about protecting our digital information.
Yep.
Just any steps towards that at all? I guess I'm just curious because it was in the conversation. Any steps are we taking towards that as well?
We are.
Okay,
yeah. So PowerNet, their biggest job, at least for us, is our phone system. They're doing the Wi-Fi, which runs parallel with our server. So they're parallel servers, but you have server A and you have server B. So there's no intertwining of those servers. As far as our Wi-Fi, they're continuing now with phase 2 in that, and they expect to continue moving on. The reason I included them in the conversation, because there was no communication before. I had my IT guy telling me, hey, they went back there and made a mess of the server room, and
not knowing what they're doing.
Yeah. So gotcha. I felt it was critical to get that relationship going. And here's what I told him. I said, if we go down, I don't want anybody pointing fingers. I want to get us back up, and I want to know how we get back up as quickly as we can. No fingers. We're a team. And man, it was great. We were all there. Everybody's input, and when you looked at one company compared to another company, usually they're kind of territorial. They were not. They were all for our benefit, which is really what we look for in this partnerships. The better relationships we can build and partnerships we can build with companies, the better we're going to be able to provide services to our residents. And that's really what it's all about.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right.
Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not just waving my hand. I need to ask a question. You talked about phase 1. Would you bring us up to date with you in phase 2? Tell us about phase 1.
So phase 1 is one section of the village. Phase 2 is another section. Phase 3 will be the final section. So as far as the monies, it's working also in that direction. So once we get phase 1, we've now received the for lack of a better term, the bill to be paid, and then we'll continue on with phase 2 and phase 3. So obviously the grants that we're working on, that we continue to work on, is a big part of why we can do this, and besides the good teammates, which we do have.
Perhaps I need to reframe that question then.
Okay.
What was all in phase 1?
I don't know the parameter of where it ended, but
Okay.
it was a certain percentage of the village. So let's say it went up to Stephen. So it went from Stephen down to the southern part of the village. Then the next section will start from there and move its way up. But they're also doing some work at the school, because if you think of like when you design sound systems, there's an overlap of that radius of that signal. Well, it's the same thing with Wi-Fi. They want an overlap of that signal so it's stronger, and then it continues to have overlapping areas. So that's why we'll have multiple locations. Ours is just one of them. The school is another. But it's going to be pretty cool.
Well, the reason why I asked you to talk about that is because we on ICRC, and people out there will call you and ask, well, what is phase 1 about? So that's, yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you have anything else you want to go over?
No, ma'am, that's it.
Any other questions for Mr. Holbert before we move on? Okay, all right. So we're going to go into the Hamilton County Public Health, the mini grant.
You want a motion to receive his report?
Oh, that would be good, wouldn't it? Motion to receive Mr. Holbert's report.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right. Okay, and so we'll go back to the Hamilton County Public Health, the mini grant. It's in your packet. It just lets you know regarding what's in the mini grant. Ms. Mitchell, did you want to speak on it since you?
Mayor, yes, I think it's a good opportunity. And as I stated in my email to you, is that, I think that we could benefit from it, putting some focus on the mitigation piece of it, the fire safety program, security of Memorial Field and Serenity Park, or professional review of our zoning code. I mean, it also talks about, resiliency. And sometimes, we may not all think alike, but we can probably have some training to build better resiliency among not only just council, but the employees, staff as well. So if you read it and understand what the possibilities are, I think that we would benefit if we were so fortunate to get it. So I will like to, under miscellaneous business tonight, offer a motion that we apply for it.
Okay. Okay, I am looking at the eligibility for it. So it does list community administration and public school districts. One application can be submitted per jurisdiction. One application can be submitted per school district. Applicants will be for 35,000. Is that 35 million?
35,000.
35,000.
35,000,
Okay.
right.
I'm like, wait a minute. I need some more zeros.
Right, so basically,
Wow, it's a lot of money.
all the schools that we have in Princeton, only one of them,
Can
they can apply. Okay, so Princeton did that, so we can, as a jurisdiction, apply for it. And hopefully, somebody in Princeton would apply for it. So
35,000. It looks like for food and travel or unallowable costs.
right.
Okay, and then this is the time frame. So it looks like we would need to make a decision on your motion if that is what happens.
Right, the application deadline is October 2nd.
Second, okay, at 5:00. And then a notice of award is Monday, October 16th of 2023. And then then there's a mini grant final summary deadline by July 15th, 2024. Thank you, Ms. Mitchell. Any questions for Ms. Mitchell? Yes, Mrs. Desai.
Ms. Mitchell, you said you were going to put forth a motion authorizing the application for the grant, correct? Mm-hmm. And then were you going to also note authorizing you to be
No, not me, the manager.
the manager?
Or
Okay.
whoever he gets. I mean, just
Okay.
if we do it however that does.
Okay, so it's going to be a motion for the Village of Lincoln Heights to apply for the Hamilton County Public Health mini grant, and authorizing the village manager to complete the application and submit it
Right,
before the
yeah.
deadline?
Yeah, that's what I have motion that the village manager prepare and submit the Hamilton County, da-da-da-da-da. I
Okay.
need to say all what you said.
Um,
So write it down.
Well, I was just going to suggest, I don't think we need to wait until miscellaneous business.
Oh, we can do it now.
Now, there may be other discussion about it, but I think once discussion is finished, you can make the motion, and if it gets a second, then we can go to a vote.
I just had a question.
Yes, ma'am.
May I ask a question? And it's for Mr. Holbert. Mr. Holbert, have you read this application? Is this something that you feel like we have the capacity to implement if awarded?
So I have not. I just finished another mini grant for Hamilton County, and I was tied up with that. So that's the one I just submitted on Friday. So
Okay.
I haven't had time to even read the email. I did see it, but I have not read it.
Did you want to say something?
Yeah, I remember going, maybe I was copied on the email, I don't know, but for some reason this looks familiar, and it struck me that a lot of this was somewhat of a repeat of other things that we have done with Hamilton County. So like on page 2, where there's the development of the action plan outlining the mitigation strategies, that's something we have done before. Of course, with any grant, you got to do your budget. Then touching base with the staff on the status of the action plan. And so my point is, I don't know that this is anything unique. We've done a number of mini grant applications with Hamilton County Public Health, and I don't see anything in here that strikes me as anything novel. So again, it's the will of council whether, a motion gets passed tonight, but I didn't see anything that seemed unlike something we've dealt with before.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just more interested in if we have the capacity to execute, should we apply? That's my only question. I don't want to, and it doesn't really give a time frame, or did it when the funds had to be used? It looks like,
July 24.
I'm sorry?
July 24.
So in that
Submission of-
table, there's a date of,
Complete or process as a result of an MOU by July 2024, July 15th of 2024. Is that what you're saying?
Yep. That's how I read that submission of the final summary, highlighting the strategies completed, which means that which you did. So,
I guess there's some deadlines in November as well.
right, and if you look at the 6th bullet point under evaluation points, it says applicant demonstrates an ability to complete project objectives by July 15th, 2024. So that looks like the deadline for expenditure.
I just lean towards the manager. If the manager feels like his office has the time and the capacity to execute the grant, then yes, I think it's a great grant. But if we are writing grants and we can't execute them, then we fall into some situations like we have previously before. A lot of us were here where grants had to be sent back because we couldn't execute. That's my only concern.
well, I would think that anything that we do, what we say doesn't necessarily have to be carried out. That is something that the manager, if we were to do the training, or if we were to do something in terms of how do we mitigate some of the issues that we have. Certainly, he can't do that, but within the grant, you say that you're going to get a consultant, or the fire department will do. So it's not something to me that that it's solely the staff of Lincoln Heights that would do it. But in writing another grant, you say that you will get this, and these are the individuals that you're going to pull into the strategy of it.
That's fair enough.
All right. Anything else? All right. So we'll move on. Thank you, Ms. Mitchell.
Do you want to make that motion, Ms. Mitchell?
You want to do it now? Okay, certainly. I'd like to offer a motion that the village manager prepare and submit grant for the Hamilton County Public Health mini grant.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilwoman, I'm sorry, Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durance Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 7 aye votes. That motion does pass.
All right. Where we at? Okay, that leaves, the next one is motion order for resolution 2023 R34.
Motion to hear by title only.
Second.
It's been moved in second to read by title only of resolution 2023 R34.
One moment, I'm sorry. Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durance Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 7 aye votes. The motion does pass. Village of Lincoln Heights, Hamilton County, Ohio, resolution number 2023-R-34, resolution authorizing the finance director to transfer monies between object codes FKA, formerly known as line items, in the We Thrive Fund.
Any questions? If there are no questions, motion to suspend.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durance Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 7 aye votes. The motion does pass.
Motion to receive for passage.
Second.
Moved in second.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durance Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 7 aye votes. The motion does pass.
Motion to receive the emergency clause.
Second.
Moved in second.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durance Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Yes.
We have 7 aye votes. The motion does pass.
Okay, motion to defer ordinance 2023-03 to defer to the next council meeting.
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durance Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 7 aye votes. The motion does pass.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session to discuss a complaint against a public official.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber,
Yes.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter,
Yes.
Councilman Durant Daniels,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tanya Key,
Yes.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson,
Yes.
Mayor Ruby Kenzie Mumfree.
Yes.
We have 7 aye votes. The motion does pass.
Yes, we'd like to invite Mr. Holbert to the meeting, executive session. Village of Lincoln Heights Council is now back in session. Today's date is Monday, September 11, 2023. The time is 10:29. Roll call.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
Present.
Councilman Durance Daniels.
Present.
Councilwoman Linda Childs Jeter.
Present.
Councilwoman Tanya Key.
Present.
Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell. No response. Vice Mayor Jeannie Stinson.
Present.
Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumfree.
Present.
We have 6 who are present. We do have a quorum.
Is there any miscellaneous business? Motion for adjournment.
Motion. Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Kuna Matata.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you.